Hello, my name is Brian, and I'm here to show you about my PC build. Alright, it was built with a Silverstone case. It had a built-in colored fan, and there's two USB ports on the front, as well as a headphone and microphone jack, and as well as a reset button. If we look on the other side, these is the I/O connectors for the motherboard. There's a space for the mouse and the keyboard. And all the USB ports down here are USB 3. That's what the blueness means. And these antennas that are sticking out are for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Alright, let's crack it open and see what's inside. Alright, I have a 550 watt power supply in here. It's good enough. It's a good amount of power. It would even support a graphics card upgrade, depending on the model. As you can see, I have a AMD heatsink right here, and underneath it is a Ryzen 1700 processor. It's a 8-core processor with 16 threads, so it's pretty fast. Down here, right here, is the M2 SATA SSD. It's the latest form of SSD possible at the current time. It's a lot faster than the smaller SSDs that are about this size. Yep, these SSD size are kind of outdated. Not really, but these ones are definitely way better, and it's 500 gigabytes. Right here I have a RX 560 AMD graphics card, which allows you to play a lot of games on Ultra from in 1080 from about 2016. But some newer games, you might have to adjust your settings slightly. Right here is the 16 gigabytes of RAM. The brand is XPG. The RAM is 3200 megahertz, which is the fastest and most expensive RAM that a consumer could buy at the time. And right here I have a 2 terabyte hard drive for additional storage needs. Alright, yep, let's get this thing up and running. So I press the power button on the side. Everything turns on like it should. Here it comes on the monitor. This is a 2K monitor. It's 35 inches. As you can see from the SSD, it booted up really fast. Let's take a look at what's in the PC. I have a couple games on here. As of right now, there's no account sign in password or anything. The account name is just new user. It's not linked to any Outlook accounts or anything, so you can change that in any way you want. So we'll go down here and we'll go to system. And then down to about. Alright, as you can see, it has that Ryzen 1700 8-core processor, and it's a 3 gigahertz processor. It has a turbo boost. I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was around 3.5. So sometimes it can go randomly up to 3.5 gigahertz, depending on the workload. And as you can see, it does have 16 gigs of RAM installed here. And down here, you can see that the operating system is Windows 10 Pro, which was the more expensive operating system for consumers. And it is activated. Alright. As you can see down here, I'm connected to Wi-Fi. And that's straight off of this Bluetooth Wi-Fi adapter. Just to make sure that's working, I'm just gonna open a web page, type something random. Sure, let's look at stimulus update. Okay, so the Wi-Fi is working. We can do a speed test to see how fast the Wi-Fi is. Should have done that on Google. Nope, it's down here. Alright, according to this speed test, the ping was less than a millisecond, which is really, really good, especially for online gaming and stuff like that. The download speed is 38 megabytes per second, which is also really, really fast. If you were trying to download a gig of data, 33 megabytes would download it in about, I think, about 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. And that upload speed is pretty crazy. Let's just do another speed test to verify. Alright, yeah, this definitely does seem like to be a more accurate speed test. That Bing speed test kind of sucks. Okay, so it says the ping here is 14 milliseconds, um, which is really, really good. The lower the ping, the better. When you start seeing the ping going up to like 40, 50, 60, you're gonna have some issues with online gaming. Um, but with this connection, this Wi-Fi connection we have set up now, um, that's a very good ping. Okay, and so my download speed is 114 megabytes, which is extremely fast, and I'm under 100 megabyte internet plan, um, and that's only guaranteed when you plug it in. However, this is through a Wi-Fi connection, so that's how good this Wi-Fi PCI card is. And the upload speed, 10 megabytes, that's actually pretty good. That last speed test that said 74 megabyte upload speed, that's unheard of. 10 is a pretty good number actually, and a more accurate one. So the Wi-Fi on it definitely works pretty great. Alright, down here you have your Radeon software, which is just for the graphics card. It just does things, features with your graphics card, optimizes games, helps you do screen captures and stuff like that. I'm not gonna set this up. I'll let somebody else do that. Alright, let's go to the PC details. Okay, as you can see here, the main operating system is installed on the SSD, which is right here. So here it says it's 465 gigabytes. And the 2 terabyte hard drive right here is completely empty. Right here it says 1.81 terabytes. That's usually something that happens with computers. It's not like the exact number for some reason. But 1.8 terabytes of data is definitely a lot. I'd say it could probably hold up to 20 games, depending on, the newness of the game and things like that. Older games don't take as much space as newer games. Alright, so let's give this thing a little stress test. Actually, let's look at the device manager first. Alright, under display adapters, you do see that the RX 560 GPU is installed. And under processors, you can see that there's actually 16 of them. That's where that 8-core 16 thread thing comes in. So a little thing about processors, they have something on them called cores, and this one has 8 cores, But they also have something called Threads, which is a virtual core. Basically, it helps the system multitask a lot better. So that being said, let's give it a little stress test. Just gonna start opening random stuff. See how fast things load, yeah. I'm just gonna open a bunch of tabs. I'm gonna minimize it. I'm gonna open a new web browser. Look how fast the program actually opens. It's like almost no wait time when you're opening apps. I'm gonna minimize this. I'm gonna go to another browser. You know what? I'm gonna open the recycling bin. I'm gonna give this thing as much work as I could possibly give it. But it seems to not be struggling at all. Everything just opens pretty quickly. As you see here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 apps open. I'm gonna open this app. I'm gonna open the mail app. Let's see if there's any more apps I can open. Sure, let's open up Paint. Why not? Alright, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 apps open. So I'm gonna minimize everything. Alright, so we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tabs open. Okay, I'm gonna close Microsoft Edge. Okay, we still have all these apps open. I'm gonna open Microsoft Edge. See it open with no problem, just quick. Typing in more stuff. Yeah, it's very, very fast. And that's because of that 8-core, 16 thread processor. So it can handle daily use with absolutely no problem. So I'm just gonna close all these apps that we don't need. And it's also where the RAM comes in as well. Since the RAM speed is 32 megahertz, that definitely helps with things loading up faster and, helps with multitasking. Alright, let's get into some fun stuff like video games. One website I would recommend if you have absolutely no video games at all is Origin, which I already have open. Okay, here's my game library. but there's a $5 prescription called Origin Access, which gives you access to, a huge category of games. Let me see if I can find that specifically. Okay, it seems like they called it EA Play now instead of Origin. But it's only $5 a month. And as you can see, there's a bunch of games on here that if you have that Play subscription, you can just download the game and play it like it's nothing. For example, let's go back to my game library, and I have all these games. And see, I bought Battlefield 1 cash, and because I have that Play subscription, there's a newer version on Play that has all the expansions, and so since I have that Play subscription, I can just get all those expansion packs for free. So I'm gonna add a game to my library just to show how it works. I saw Need for Speed. As you can see, Need for Speed isn't here. And I'm just gonna add it to library. And there it is right there. Working on downloading. Well, not really, I still have to click the download button, but all I had to do was download it and then I could play it like it's nothing. Alright. Since I did set this up as a new user, I don't have that many games installed on it. I do have Rocket League and I do have Crash Bandicoot. However, I want to point out how the Bluetooth feature works. Okay, here I have an Xbox One controller with Bluetooth compatibility. So I'm going to go to settings. Bluetooth. Now I'm gonna put the Xbox One controller in pairing mode. And then I go to add Bluetooth device. to just install a driver for that Bluetooth to work. So for this example, I'm just going to plug in the Xbox controller to the PlayStation. I meant to the computer. So now I'm gonna plug the Xbox controller to the computer using a USB cable. Okay. It says right now that it's setting up the controller, and I have it plugged in directly into the back of the computer. Alright. It says the controller is ready. I'm gonna shut this down. Alright, and then let's try running a game. I'm gonna run Crash Bandicoot first, since it doesn't require any internet or anything. Yeah, it's running it for the first time on this PC. It's still loaded up pretty fast. It loaded up almost instantly. If it wasn't the first time, that little prompt wouldn't have shown up. Okay, right now I'm using the Xbox controller.